Okay, Vince, I wanted to let you know about the DMV court hearing. Again, it's important to my case, why in my defense. So, it was on Friday at 10 o'clock. I received a letter when I got out of Del Diaz Hospital so on Monday. I, 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 I saw it and I got it. So, and it was literally for that Friday. So this last Friday. So I just got out of the hospital. Okay. So I'm gonna pause and take a drink. Hold on. The court that I was going to was for 119, not 16. So my third DUI. So when I went on Friday, I asked, I was confused. I didn't understand why it was 119. And that was the third one when I was coming out of Maverick. So um that was in my head. I had a file full of, I just talked to the stake president last night, the night before, and I had like a file box of, I got a basket with all my files. He ended up talking the whole time, and I didn't really get to tell him about how I wanted to approach. I was trying to get some advice from him about what to say in court the next day at the DMV court, right? And I, but I didn't, he just was like, I don't know, I'll talk to anybody, anybody you want. I'm like, well, what would you say? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just going to say that with everything you told me. And because he had called the jail on the fourth DUI, I'd called him twice, and he had called, and the lady said she's not getting out anytime soon. This is her third, because they can't see, Layton police can't see the one in Ogden because it was by a trooper, I believe. I think so. So they have a different system. So they only think I have the three. They don't know I have the one with you. And so, anyways, sorry, just thinking about that. But Kyle, the stake president, was shocked to find me out in 2 hours. And again, with no bail. And I'm like, yeah, that's a normal. No, on all these DUIs, it doesn't make sense. And he's like, no, it doesn't. So anyways, that's for another video. But I had brought that to the DMV. I'd brought my basket, or I put certain files in a bag, and I was like ready to go with a bag of contents there, with the app on my phone ready to show, uh, this Agent J stuff. You know, I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing, but the guy came out, the little judge in the office. He came out and said, it's a little bit past 10. We're just waiting for the officer to show. He has till 10:20. And so I'm like, okay. And then I asked him about the 16. I'm like, I have a question for you. And this was a little bit after. This is probably like, I don't know, a few minutes after I went back in his office. And do you have, I noticed that this hearing is for the 19th. But I have a DUI from the 6th that I haven't gotten any letters for. Can you check it out for me? Because I don't want to have missed it. He looked it up. It was like right there. And I didn't have one. I didn't have a hearing for the 16, one where I was maced. There was an administrative error, and that one won't have that DUI won't have a DMV hearing. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so there won't be one rescheduled at all? And he said, no, because it was our error. You don't need to worry about that one at all. So I'm like, so everything's free and clear of it. My license, everything. And he said, yes. And I said, okay. So so that gave me some empowerment. I'm like, okay, yeah, number one, I have my my license is intact. Yay. And then I'm still waiting on this officer who hasn't come. And so, yeah, I'm going to go sit down and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, administrative error. How can I not believe this? This is ridiculous. Of course, I'm going to believe what I believe, that I'm being helped by the cops. And that's scary. I don't know what this looks like. That's why I asked the state president, I'm like, what does this even look like that I believe this so much that that you believe it's happening? Because you see me shake in terror with that app that I read to you for the second time. I was trembling. I don't want to do this. I've told you many times. I don't want to be here talking to you in the church. It's annoying. And this was never about this. This was about my family, getting my kids back. I already done that with Arizona, and I proved how different I was just by like a year ago, a year and a half ago, really. No, almost a year ago. I'm like, I did it. I did everything that I said I would, and it happened. It happened magically to play out everything that I said to get me back to the path where I knew, and I had done that. I had done it, and I had done it in September of 2021. I had done it. And then in March of 2022, I've done it. I've done this as well. And it was part of showing my family, my ex and my kids, how different I am. It had nothing to do with the cops. It had nothing to do with the church. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking. Then I go stand and look at the outside the window, and I I'm just waiting to see if the cop pulls up. Like, is he going to come through the front door? If he is, I want to watch for him. I want to see when he comes up. I want to make sure I'm prepared. I want to see him first. Don't want him to come up when I'm in there. So I stand, by the front doors and inside, and I just look out, and I kind of get paranoid about one of the workers, the first girl you see worker, just because I don't know. I don't know why. I was nervous and scared. I don't know. Just where my mind went. But I at 10:20 came and went, and the guy came out and said, "You're since he didn't show up, you don't have to worry about this DUI on your record. It's off your record. And you because when I felt empowered. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, he is. I'm bringing all this stuff out. And then when he didn't show, and why wouldn't he show? He arrested me twice in 2 weeks. So, anyways, I would think that he'd want to make sure on my third, he'd want to make sure I lose my license. I still have my license. I still had my license when I left the jail every time. And I keep this new DUI, the fourth. I don't have a suspension. Yeah, but I still have to call in. Sorry. Anyway, so it's all free and clear. And then a couple days when I got the notice for the court date on the 10th, I also got a reimbursement notice that and it said that they're not going to revoke or suspend my license, even though I was driving on a suspended license. And this was for my 1.6 DUI. They're not going to take any action against me, and I get a refund. And so I already submitted the refund, and that I did on Thursday, and then Friday was my court. So yeah. You need to know all these facts. You need to know how it's all working out, because this is a part of the story. And you need to be filled in on the gaps of why it is a story, and what I can do to prove, like, to you that it's a story worthy, because it is. And so that's why, we need to talk about when I stole from Walmart and I got off that miracle. It got dismissed. How I went to the Pathways Crisis Center then, and I felt like I'd been here before. I mean, I need probably records of some of these places, huh? Okay. I gotta get working on that. All right, Vince, we need to figure this out. But I think I've told you everything so far. I really do need you to figure out how you can talk to the state president, maybe in your office or something. I want you, but I want you to be filled in through me. I just basically want facts of how things have been going, like, and what his observations have been, and what I said and how he felt in our meetings. And I asked him, how can you, he told the stories he told um, on Sunday or on Thursday, because he got me in that night. Well, the next day, because he always, it's so good. He told me stories of like that demons were on his mission, and he had some riveting stories. They were really, really, yeah, they were riveting. I'm like, holy crap, scary and crazy. And he's like, yeah, I'm not, paranormal is not. Yeah, I think I have this reported, but okay. So sorry. But then later on, I asked him after an hour, he spoke for an hour of his stories. I said, you have these stories that are very real, and I believe you. I believe there's aliens. I believe there's evil demons. I believe there's all these things on this earth that we don't, that happen and are very real. And I have the same kinds of experiences, not as intense and scary, and evil like that. Mine's more in good. Mine is good. I've only experienced one demon the one time, and that was at the house with Aisha. And but he wasn't allowed to come in, and I was able to protect myself from it. But I've experienced angels, and I've experienced like huge angels flapping and just my hair blowing in the wind. I experienced something with my Roberta, my client Roberta, in the middle of her shift, but she was the one who looked at the spirit that was next to me, and I only saw white haze because I don't choose to deal with spirits. Okay, this is important stuff. I'm gonna stop this and record again.